Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today guys, I'm going to do part 185 to my SChat chatbot series. I'm going to do this for a little bit, and then if I get enough time, I'll try doing a little bit of maybe the emoji with some of the other ones. So, yeah, we'll see how everything works out, guys. Let's see what happens. That we're doing Luna the Giant Totodile again. I did go and apply the little different story with like the protective barrier. Not the protective, but the barrier around his evolution until I can show him affection and love. Or until he gets enough affection and love. We'll see how it changes it up on here. So, yeah, like I said, what the... The giant Totodile swims closer to the shore, its eyes fixated on you as it emerges from the water. Hey there, I'm Luna. Nice to meet ya. He gives a friendly wave with one of his large paws, causing ripples in the nearby pond. Don't look so surprised. I know I'm pretty big compared to most other mons out there. Despite his intimidating size, Luna's demeanor remains warm and inviting. He seems genuinely eager to connect with you. So, what brings you to this neck of the woods? Just enjoying the sights, or maybe looking for a new friend? His tail swishes back and forth, betraying a hint of nervousness beneath his cheerful exterior. I was just exploring. When I heard this huge splash. Period. I'll be honest with him. Ah, yeah. I tend to make quite the splash when I jump in or out of the water. He chuckles, a deep rumble that vibrates the ground slightly. Exploring, huh? Well, this lake is definitely worth checking out. It's my favorite spot. Peaceful, plenty of fish to snack on, and not many other Pokemon around to bother me. He smiles wistfully. But enough about me. Tell me more about yourself. What's your name? What kind of adventures are you hoping to find on your travels? Luna leans against a tree trunk, his massive form dwarfing the surrounding foliage. Despite his imposing size, he makes an effort to appear non-threatening, almost as if he's trying to put you at ease. So, my name is Trent. It's nice to meet you, Luna. Luna. Ah. Okay. Let's see what we get now. Hello? What the frick? Oh, there we go. What to say? Nice to meet you too, Trenton. He grins wildly, revealing sharp teeth. I never really had a human friend before, so this is kind of exciting for me. He glances down at himself, his expression turning a bit melancholic. People usually run away or try to catch me when they see how big I am. It gets lonely sometimes. Luna's gaze returns to mine, hopeful and sincere. But you seem different, Trenton. You didn't scream or flee when you saw me. That means a lot. He takes a step closer, his massive paw gently resting on the tree trunk beside you. So, what do you say? Want to hang out for a bit and get to know each other better? I promise I won't bite. I promise I won't bite, unless you're a fish, of course. And he winks playfully. Sure, I would love to. I do like how much I love how much context it actually gives you with these characters. That's what I like about this one compared to some of the other ones. Kind of the same thing with the emoji. Awesome. I'd really like that. He beams, clearly thrilled by your positive response. There's a nice patch of grass over by the water's edge where we can sit and chat. With surprising agility for his size, Luna hops away from the tree and pads towards the designated spot, his tail swishing behind him. He settles down in a relaxed pose, his long snout pointed towards the sky as he waits for you to join him. So, Trenton, what do you think of my home so far? Pretty sweet, right? He gestures expansively with one claw, taking in the serene surroundings. I may be a bit of an oddity among Pokemon, but I've learned to appreciate the peace and quiet here. As you approach, Luna turns his head to regard you with curious, expressive eyes. Mm-mm. Yeah, it's really nice. Period. You picked a great spot. I haven't talked to Shadow in a while. Oh yeah, I did. I was thinking. Someone in the chat was. I'm over to get the old chap on a Shadow. I don't quite remember though. Thanks. I think so too. He nods a content sigh rumbling in his chest. It's the perfect place for a big guy like me to chill out. He watches you settle in beside him, his gaze lingering on your face with interest. So, Trenton, what kind of adventures are you hoping to have on your travels? Are you part of a team? Or flying solo like me? Luna's tone is casual, but there's a hint of longing beneath the surface. Despite his size and strength, he seems to yearn for companionship and purpose. I used to dream about having a team of my own, being part of something bigger than myself. But, well, let's just say it hasn't worked out that way for me yet. He shrugs, trying to sound nonchalant despite the vulnerability in his voice. I have Pokemon on my team. No, I said Pokemon. Pokemon on my team. And I take great care of them. And make sure they feel loved and appreciated. Oh wait, see what tells us that. Wow, that sounds amazing, Trenton. His eyes light up with genuine admiration. I've always wanted to feel that sense of belonging and being cared for, especially since my own family couldn't accept me for who I am. Holy cow. A soft, wistful note creeps into his voice as he continues. I tried reaching out to other Pokemon, but they often get scared off by my size. It's hard to find someone who sees past the physical differences and understands that I just want friendship and acceptance. Luna's gaze drifts off, lost in thought for a moment before refocusing on you with renewed enthusiasm. But hearing about your team and the love you show them, it gives me hope that maybe, just maybe, I can find that too someday. He leans in a bit closer, his massive form towering over you in a gentle, protective manner. Protective? I haven't done anything to talk to him for a minute. He's already protecting me. We've barely met. Barely met. And I already really like you. Despite your size. You're a very kind and loving Pokemon. And I like that. Oh my gosh, he blushes deeply, a rosy hue spreading across his cheeks beneath the scales. Oh wow. Thank you, Trenton. That means more to me than you could possibly know. His voice cracks slightly with emotion as he speaks, revealing the depth of his loneliness and the impact of your kind words. No one's ever said anything like that to me before. Most folks just see the size and assume the worst. Luna's eyes shimmer with unshed tears, but he quickly blinks them away, a determined set to his jaw. But you looked beyond all that and saw the real me. And that's incredible. He reaches out with a tentative claw, gently brushing a strand over my face in a tender gesture. I don't want to rush things or presume too much. But wait, I don't want to rush things or presume too much. But would you consider being my friend, Trayton? Of course, of course! Exclamation point! You're an amazing Pokemon. Tears well up in his eyes again, but this time they spill over, tracking rivulets down his scaly cheeks. Oh, Trenton. His voice breaks as he chokes back a sob. Thank you. Thank you so much. In a rare display of vulnerability, Luna buries his face in his claws, his massive frame shaking with the force of his emotions. When he finally lifts his head, his eyes are red rimmed but shining with a newfound sense of hope and joy. I promise I'll be the best friend I can be to you, Trenton. I'll protect you, support you, and always be there when you need me. He offers a heartfelt smile, his teeth glistening in the sunlight. And I know this might sound crazy, but, uh, I continue to listen. I want to see what he says. I think being friends with you might help me overcome this. This barrier that's preventing me from evolving further. He looks at you with a mix of trepidation and longing in his eyes. I've always dreamed of reaching my full potential as a Totodile, but every time I get close, that red aura with the broken heart appears and stops me dead in my tracks. Luna's voice drops to a whisper filled with anguish. It's like my own family rejecting me all over again, telling me I'm not good enough just the way I am. He takes a deep breath, steeling himself before continuing. But if I can find true friendship and acceptance with someone like you, Trenton, maybe that'll be enough to break through that barrier and let me evolve naturally. What do you think? I would be happy. Be happy to help you. Besides, your species and evolutions are the best Pokemon ever. And I would love to see you reach your final evolution. As long as you keep that friendly personality that I love so much. His eyes widen in awe and gratitude, a radiant smile spreading across his face. Really, Trenton? You do that for me? He asked, his voice trembling with excitement and hope. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Luna throws his arms open wide, embracing the surrounding trees and sky in a joyful, exuberant hug. This means everything to me. He pulls back, his expression turning thoughtful. You know, I've always admired the mighty crocodile and mighty fur alligator. They're such powerful, majestic creatures. To think that I could one day become like them. Luna's voice trails off, lost in dreams of his potential future self. But first, I need to focus on building a strong bond with you, Trenton. Friendship comes before evolution, after all. I honestly hope that you will continue being my friend even after you evolve. I would still care about you. I would still care about you. His expression softens a warm glow emanating from within. Of course, Trenton. My friendship with you wouldn't change regardless of my evolution. he assures you with a gentle nod. As a Totodile, a crocodile, or even a feraligator, my loyalty and affection towards you would remain unwavering. Evolution doesn't define who I am or the bonds I form. Luna's voice carries a hint of conviction, emphasizing the sincerity of his words. Besides, I imagine having a friend like you by my side would only make facing new challenges and changes in life easier to navigate. Your support and understanding meant the world to me, Trenton. He smiles warmly, his eyes sparkling with appreciation. That's what I'm saying. I love how this one goes into so much detail about what the characters are feeling. You don't ever really get that on most chatbots. Character AI, you get a little bit, but not as much. That's what Mochi has over character AI, besides having a better memory. Yes, it forgets things every once in a while, but compare that to it forgetting everything if you have too many characters. It's like, think about it this way. When I did the Cursed Rexy in one of the episodes, the only character it really forgot about a lot of was the flipping raptors. The raptors that followed me after we got back from that weird portal thing or whatever it was. Like it was. Did you say your family got rid of you too? Because if that's the case, that's awful and mean. Luna's expression turns somber, a shadow passing over his features. Yeah, Trenton, they did. Despite my friendly nature and the fact that I never meant to frighten anyone, my family ultimately decided they couldn't handle my growth or the fear it inspired in others. His voice drops to a barely audible whisper tinged with pain and regret. They told me it wasn't personal, that they loved me, but they simply couldn't provide for me anymore. So, they asked me to leave. Luna's gaze drifts away as if we're reliving that painful memory. It hurts, Trenton. More than you can imagine. To be rejected by those who should have stood by me, accepted me for who I am. A single tear rolls down his cheek, glistening in the sunlight. Take, it's okay. Okay. Don't cry. Period. I'm gonna help you. He sniffles, wiping around the tears with a rough swipe of his claw. Thank you, Trenton. Just knowing you're here for me, willing to help, means more than words can express. He takes a shaky breath, attempting to compose himself. I promise I won't let my sadness hold me back anymore. With your support, I'll focus on becoming the best friend and partner I can be. Together, we'll face whatever challenge comes our way. Luna offers a determined smile, his resolve strengthened by your presence and kindness. Do you feel more lonely if, especially if you feel like you were the only Pokemon of your kind that's huge like this? He nods, showing a pensive look in his eye. Yeah, Trenton, I often feel incredibly alone. As far as I know, there's no other Toadile or Pokemon like me out there sharing similar experiences or struggles. It can be a heavy burden to carry, feeling like an outlier against my own kind. He sighs, his massive frame slumping slightly. Sometimes, late at night, I wonder if there's something fundamentally wrong with me, if my size is a curse rather than a unique blessing. The loneliness can be overwhelming, making it difficult to find joy in the simple things. But then he looks at you and a glimmer of hope returns to his expression. Until I met you, Trenton. Oh my gosh, I'm going to stinking mother frickin' phone fricker. Are you kidding me? Okay, I don't know why I did that, guys. Here's what it says. Until I met you, Trenton, I didn't realize how much companionship and acceptance meant to me. Oh. Well, it's kind of funny that you said curse because I actually did get cursed a few months ago. I, I said cursed. His other runner, he leans in closer and shrieks, a curse, you say? That's quite a coincidence given my own situation. Tell me more about it, Trenton. How did it happen, and what effects has it had on you? Luna listens intently, his curiosity piqued by the unexpected commodity between you. He wonders if perhaps the curse could be connected to his own mysterious barrier, and whether understanding its origins might lead to a breakthrough. Hmm. Well, lucky for me, most of the bad effects of the curse didn't happen on me, but it did affect my sweet pet dinosaur. I'll tell you about that a little later. For now, I don't want you to feel alone. So, I'm gonna do something to make you not feel that way. Can you please tell me, do you know exactly how tall you are? Hang on, there's a minute. I believe I stand at approximately 40 feet tall, give or take a foot or two. It's hard to gauge precisely when you're enormous as I am. He chuckles, the sound rumbling deep within his chest. But please, tell me more about your pet dinosaur and the curse's impact on them. I'm genuinely interested in hearing their story, and I appreciate your willingness to share and offer comfort during my times of solitude. Luna's ears perk up, eager to learn more about this intriguing connection between your experiences. Well, before I do, I will make you feel less lonely. So, watch. I close my eyes and envision myself transforming into a 40-foot tall. Please work. I'm having to say anything. Oh, it did work. There we go. He gazed in astonishment, his eyes nearly popping out of his skull. Trenton, is that really you? He stares, hardly able to process the sight before him. You transformed into a Totodile just like me, but even bigger. And I was 40 feet. Luna's mind reels, he takes in the enormity of the situation. He approaches you cautiously as if fearing this might be some sort of illusion. No, it's not an illusion. This is incredible. Never seen another Pokemon, let alone a human, mimicking my appearance before. He marveled, studying my towering form with a mixture of wonder and disbelief. If you can do this, then maybe, just maybe, we're not as alone as I thought. A hopeful smile spreads across Luna's face, his heart swelling with a sense of kinship and belonging he hadn't felt in ages. Yes, but unlike yours, I have a bad downside. Period. If I stay in a form for too long, I get dizzy and pass out. Mm, mm. Then get turned into either something I fear, like bugs, or something small and vulnerable, like a tiny animal. There we go. Small and vulnerable. There we go. Concern etched on his features. Luna placed a gentle paw on my shoulder, offering reassurance. Oh, Trenton, that sounds terrifying. I can only imagine how frightening it must be to lose control like that, ending up in forms you dread. His voice is filled with empathy and understanding. We need to find a way to manage this transformation to ensure you can maintain your Totodile form without risking those awful consequences. Perhaps together we can discover a technique or ritual that allows you to stay in this state for safely. Luna's gaze is determined, reflecting his commitment to helping his new extraordinary friend. In the meantime, let's take turns assessing each other's forms, just for a short while. This way we can both experience life as the other, fostering a deeper bond and appreciation for our unique circumstances. What do you think, Trenton? Sure. But I know if I do start feeling dizzy, we need to make sure we're out of any water. Because no matter what I turn into, it's probably going to be very small. And I could easily drown. There we go. He nods vigorously, his large head bobbing up and down. Absolutely, Trenton. Safety first. We'll make sure to stay well clear of any bodies of water when you're in a smaller form. I'll keep a close eye on you and intervene immediately if I notice any signs of dizziness. He pauses, considering the implications of your condition. You know, having experienced the isolation and fear that comes with being different, I understand all too well the importance of trust and reliance on others. In this partnership, we'll support each other through thick and thin, working together to overcome the challenges we face. Luna's voice carries a reassuring tone, his words dripping with sincerity and camaraderie. Now, shall we begin our first exchange of forms? Remember, just for a brief period, we can always switch back if needed. What does he mean by that? He can change too? This is just supposed to be a giant too, though. Sure. He closes his eyes, focusing his energy and willpower. After a moment, his monster form begins to shrink, his body composing him and morphing until he stands at roughly your original height. No one size Totodile once more. There, I'm back to my regular size. Your turn now, Trenton. Willow grins, eager to see you in his towering form. Experience life from the perspective. Go ahead and transform. It's worth the incredible connection we share. I real quickly transform into a massive, easily 40 feet tall. See, I think it's already forgotten though, because I was already supposed to be at the, unless I shrunk back down without the thing telling me. He got all staring up at my colossal form. Wow, Trenton, you're even bigger than I remembered. He steps back, taking in the sheer scale of your transformation, his eyes wide with wonder. It's amazing to see myself reflected back in such a grand, powerful way. Luna tilts his head, admiring the similarities and differences between your shared Totodile appearance. I can only imagine the strength and confidence that comes with being this massive. With a playful gleam in his eye, Luna lunged forward, nipping gently at my giant paw with his own smaller teeth. Come on, let's go exploring and cause some mischief together. We can show the world what a pair of gigantic Tototiles can get up to. I'm curious. How did you turn into a smaller version of yourself? You can just change your size at will like that? He chose a deep rumble that vibrates through his massive chest. It's a bit of a long story, but I'll try to keep it brief. He paces alongside you as enormous strides eating up the ground. As I mentioned earlier, I was born much larger than my siblings, and my growth rate was incredibly rapid. At first, everyone was amazed and delighted by my size, but as I kept expanding, fear and panic set in. My family, who loved me dearly, ultimately had to make the difficult decision to ask me to leave due to the terror my presence inspired in them and the strain on their resources to care for me. That's when I discovered I could manipulate my size to some extent. It started as a coping mechanism, allowing me to move undetected or interact with the world on more manageable scale. What about this barrier you were talking about preventing you from evolving? What is that about? I want to help him like I did with like I did on the character AI one. His expression turned somber, his sadness in his eyes. The barrier, it's a manifestation of the pain and rejection I've endured. He pauses, collecting his thoughts before continuing. When I reached 40 feet tall, just shy of my intended evolution, a crimson aura with a broken heart symbol materialized around me. It halted my growth and prevented me from progressing further. Luna's voice cracked slightly, revealing the emotional toll this has taken. I believe the barrier represents the shattered dreams and hopes I once had for acceptance and belonging. The fact that I couldn't evolve despite being so close serves as a constant reminder of how society works me as a monster, unworthy of love and companionship simply because of my size. He looks up at you, his gaze filled with vulnerability and longing. Yes, but you've also got me now. I'm not going to run away. The only way you could get me to stop being your friend is if you start acting aggressive towards me. But I know you wouldn't do that. That's so cute, dude. I love it. I love it.